I spent 4 days straight shut in my room making a civilization video game. That's normal behavior for me, but this time I was racing against time to start and finish a game from scratch. But why 4 days? Because I joined a game dev competition with that exact deadline. If I didn't finish in time, all the work I put in would basically go to waste. So today I'm walking you through everything that happened during those 4 days and whether I even made it in time to submit the game. The plan was simple. Today I'd get the idea ready and set up the project so I could work quickly on it over the following days. That would be enough for today since the competition starts halfway through the day in my local time. The theme for the game jam gets announced when it starts. The theme for this game jam was loop. I need to include that in my game in some way for it to qualify. I immediately started thinking and writing down ideas for what kind of game I could make about loops and actually finish in 4 days. This is what I came up with after hours of thinking. You are a god. You plant crops for your believers and make them get resources. Every set amount of seconds, a loop happens. You get more believers, while some others die of hunger or lack of shelter. You need to make them build settlements and protect them from enemies that attack them, expand the civilization, and conquer or trade with other settlements. Did you like the concept? Too bad. Because it changed a lot once I started actually developing the game. But now that I had all my tasks organized, I created the project and copied some top-down movement controller code I'd written for another game. So that part was already solved. Before the day ended, I made some cubes spawn in the game and went to sleep. I woke up, worked out, ate something, and got to work. The plan for today was to make some settlements and structures for the game, get them spawning, and start introducing the loop concept into the gameplay. But first, let me explain what the cubes I made yesterday are for. They are basically markers for the places where structures can spawn. And the structures are farm, which gives you wheat to produce troops, which don't exist yet, but I'll take care of that later. Forest, which gives you wood that you can use to level up structures and make them generate more resources. Mine, which gives you minerals, also used for upgrading structures, but at higher levels. And finally, the settlement, which lets you spawn troops in exchange for wheat. They are all just a bunch of color cubes put together, because I don't care about proper models yet. The real problem right now is that there is still nothing to do in the game. I set the structures to spawn randomly across the map, but there's always gonna be the same amount of each type, just in a different order each time. After that, I made a resource menu to show how much of each resource you have. Now, when I mentioned resources, I didn't say anything about coins, and that's because I originally wanted to make a research tree where you would use those coins to unlock new things. But I scrapped that idea because there's already so much to do and time is running fast. Instead of wasting time trying to fit that in, I made a loop timer. Every set number of seconds, a loop ends and a new one begins. Now that I have the loop timer, the game jam is technically covered. I just have to make it actually do something. But before that, I needed to get some sleep. I know it may seem like 2 days is a lot of time to complete the game, but I need at least a whole day to fix errors, polish the game, and submit it to the competition. So today I need to at least have a menu for the structures so they can be selected and interacted with, make the troops for the game, and an AI that controls other teams you will compete against, so there is an objective for the game. Without wasting any more time, I got to make the menu for when you select a structure. The menu changes a little bit depending on the type of structure you select. For the ones that make resources, it will show you how much of that resource it's producing, and it will allow you to level it up with a button. On the settlement building, the level up button also shows, but the difference is that in this one, you have a button to generate troops for your tribe instead of the resources. Let's talk about the troops. I hadn't made anything. I severely underestimated how long it would take me to make the structure selection menu, but there still was some more time in the day, so before going to sleep, I was able to make the troops spawn when the button on the settlement is pressed, and you can select them. The selected troops will show up in the menu I made on the left, which is very cool, but they still don't do absolutely anything. And I'm not going to even talk about the AI of the other teams because, as you can guess, I haven't done any of that yet. So I failed to accomplish the tasks for today. Let's hope tomorrow goes better, because if I can't get back in track, I won't be able to complete the game by the deadline, which is getting scarily close. Today is the last full day of work I get, because tomorrow I only have a couple of hours to work, since it's ending halfway through the day in my local time. My goal is to make the troops able to be commanded by you, so you can send them to other structures to conquer them, and I also want to make the AI teams. If I'm able to pull that off, at least there will be something to do in the game. Otherwise, I'm screwed. I started with making that you can order your selected troops to move to a building you pick. Yeah, it didn't work on the first try. But after some tweaking, I got it to work. After that, I made that when there are troops in a structure, they will conquer it. When they do, a triangle with the color of the tribe will appear on top of it, so you know which tribe owns what at a glance, and it will give resources to the tribe that owns it. With 20 hours left, I just started making the opposing tribe's AI. I spent multiple hours making it have the same functionality the player has. It's able to interact with the world and have resources, but I have nothing to show for it but code. Because it's lacking the functionality that will control those actions it can already do. It's like a human without a brain. It could potentially do a lot of stuff, but the part that tells it what and when to do things is missing. A little bit like myself, actually. The end of the day came and I didn't finish a tribe's AI. Not even counting the problems I may have on other parts of the game, I know it's gonna take some hours. All I could do now is get some sleep early and try to wake up early so I can somehow fix the tribe's AI. Well, finish it, actually. Like, make it. I haven't done it. I had a little bit less than 8 hours to finish the tribe's AI, fix possible errors that may be hiding in the code or are going to pop up, and also submit the game to the competition, or lose everything I've done so far, the tens of hours of code I've written, and just lose everything. I absolutely locked in. I got into a focus state that only stress and a lack of good sleep gets you. Initially, I had a lot of problems coming up with how the AI should work, but I made them more or less how I think I would play. I spent multiple hours writing hundreds of lines of code until the time came to test it. I just finished writing the tribe's AI. If I run it and it works, I can do it. Otherwise, I'm fucked. It's not working. Everything was breaking and things weren't even spawning. Honestly, my hope was lost at this point for a couple of hours already. In the midst of "it's so over," I found there was within me an invincible "we're so back." I said to myself I would only stop working when either the time ended or I finished the game. I didn't waste any time and started fixing the errors and writing more code to make everything work again, and finally finished the AI. With 25 minutes left to publish, the tribe started moving, creating new units, and I can also conquer places by sending my troops there and making the tribes clutch. I rushed to make a build of the game, which weirdly worked on the first try, and I just made a very simple page, put some colors on it, a little description and a tutorial, and submitted the game with 22 minutes 55 seconds remaining. The game is locking pause menu, main menu, sound effects, music, foliage, and a rework to the AI I made. Oh, and also there is no win or losing, but I'm very satisfied of having submitted something and the concept of the game. If you want me to continue working on the game, let me know in the comments. Barely anyone reviewed the game on the competition, and the ones who did gave it a bad score. And to be fair, the game is not at all intuitive and there's a lot missing for it to be enjoyable. But I did have a blast working on the game and stressing over the deadline. I definitely would do it again. Anyway, if you wanna try it, I will leave a link in the description, but keep your expectations very low. Thank you for watching, bye bye.